Hello everybody, JG Crafter here and welcome back to another video where today I am going to be talking about gamers! Exclamation point! I'm just gonna say gamers because I don't want to keep remembering to add exclamation points, although from what I saw the name does have an exclamation point at the end. And yeah, this series was not at all what I was expecting. I don't really know that much about giving it a summary, but I'm gonna try to do it anyway, so just here it goes. So the basic summary that I can come up with is the main character, Amino, ends up accidentally running into the most popular girl in school at a gaming store, and she invites him to join her gaming club. And a bunch of fiasco things happen, and there's a bunch of different romance, a bunch of gaming references, and generally just a kind of fun time, to say the least. That's all I can really kind of describe it, because, I don't know, stepping into this anime, I wasn't exactly sure what I was gonna expect when I watched it. I just thought it sounded kind of fun, so I thought, hey, it says games. I love games. Why not? So, moving on to what I like about this. I like its characters, to say the least. It's set in a normal world, you know, with schools and houses and normal basic stuff we all live with. Except, it's not because it's anime. But still, it generally does kind of feel like just normal real life in a way. There are a few more exaggerated things that I'll talk about in the spoiler section of this video, but for what it was pretty funny. And I really enjoyed it. I like the characters, and I don't really care for the world. Actually, I don't care for the world it's set in. I don't really think it's that important. Its characters are very likable. There are also characters that are dislikable and annoying, but only like one or two. Most of them are pretty good though. I really like a lot of the characters, especially when things go more exaggerative during the series. There's a lot of really funny moments throughout the series that even I admit to this day, there's some moments that are so good when I watch them that I actually go back and rewatch those exact scenes just because I think they're that good. And they're just that funny, and they're that just goofy. And in general, I really had a lot of fun just giving it a full-out watch. And as for things I disliked, I guess the fact that it doesn't really have to do that much with actual video games. Like, sure, there's a lot of gaming references and discussions and stuff like that, a bunch of gaming puns and other stuff like that. But compared to the romance part of it, it's not really that much of a thing involving gaming. It was really hard to follow at times when it came to the fact of me just thinking, wait, I thought this was a gaming anime, which this doesn't really spoiler that much, but just to kind of clarify, it is not technically a gaming anime. It's not like Sword Art Online or like one of those others that base themselves around video games. It makes references, it kind of shows a bit of gaming and stuff like that, but it's more of a romantic drama than anything else, kind of also a comedy. It's not really a gaming related thing. So yeah, if you're expecting a bunch of video games, there's like a video game intro and a few gaming references and arcades and stuff. And it does try to gain the aspect of gaming, but in general it just kind of feels weird to call it a gaming anime, because I don't really see it that way. So, moving on to spoiler-free thoughts, I think that I had a fun time with this anime, to say the least. It's unique. It's not over the top, but it does kind of go extreme with its characters, and I really do have a lot of fun seeing these characters just act up and goof off and do all the stupidest things. It's really hilarious to see some of the things that happen in this series. There were even some things I wasn't expecting, like a bunch of different things that I was never thinking that would ever happen at all. And in general, I think it's really good. Just trying to think of bad parts is a little bit harder because while, again, it's not a gaming anime, there's a lot of good things that really kind of show the bad a little slack, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with a lot of spoiler-free stuff, but generally the whole thing, I feel like I have to give spoilers to in order to explain it. But that's only if people are willing to listen to spoilers, because I don't want to spoil too much. But I will end up going through it, since as so many people have recommended, I've started a discussion, like, notepad where I clarify what I talk about, when I talk about it, and what's to be talked about. So I was just trying to explain it. This is meant to be the spoiler-free section of it all. Just trying to say, I thought it was good. I really liked it. Moving on to the spoiler section now, because in general, I can definitely spend a lot more time talking about it with the spoilers. I'm going to give a 5-second timer. In this 5-second timer, you can leave the video and go watch the anime, or not, it's all your choice, or you can stay here and listen to my conversation about things I liked about it that generally can't be shared in the spoiler-free section, and just think for yourselves. But anyway, I'm just gonna enter spoiler mode now. I'm gonna count down from 5, and if you're still here, well, then you're still here. But there will also be a timestamp exactly, I'll say here, where it skips to the conclusion and we're no longer talking about spoilers. Okay? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are now in spoiler territory. So, to start things off, basically, it's the chemistry between the main character and one of the other characters, Amino, and what ends up becoming his romantic interest, this girl called Tendo. And what's really funny about it is Tendo is the most popular girl in school, and apparently she's fallen hard for Amino, even though he doesn't understand, love her, anything. He just loves mobile apps. It's really funny. Especially when, like, in the first episode, she tries to get him to join her club, the Gamers Club. And I generally thought, oh great, well, this is what the story's gonna be about. Him in a gaming club with a weird cast of characters, but I can roll with this. I'm okay with this. And then when he said, nah, I'm not gonna join, my mind immediately like, he said no to joining the club. And my mind just was like, what? I was not expecting that. I was not expecting it at all for him to just say no. And the episode just continued on with, once again, Tendo tries to get, like, Amino, our main character, to join her club. But once again, he turns her down, saying no, he plays the games for fun, and he doesn't have a reason to play games like every other person in the club did. And so, basically, she says how she feels rejected, and it's just, oh my gosh, it is just so funny. I don't know why, but the comedic romance of the show, just her acting as if he just rejected her from a love thing, was hilarious. And what's even funnier is much later on, when, actually not even much later on, like, I think it's either the second, actually it is the second episode, where we're also introduced in episode 1 actually to another batch of characters, and in episode 2, one of those characters meets up with Amino. I can't remember everyone's names, just Tendo and Amino are the easiest ones to remember, so I can't give exact names for everyone else right now because these are all improvised. But basically, in the second episode, one of the other characters, he's kind of like a gamer jock or something like that, I can't really describe him too well. He meets with Amino and hangs out with him, and then afterwards, after they get into a fight on a bridge about the gaming club, where the guy says it's not good and it's not worth anyone's time, and then Amino defends it. What's funny after that is after the guy leaves, he spots Tendo just eyeballing Amino with hearts floating all over her head and staring at him gushingly, and it just made me laugh like crazy. It was so funny. It was hilarious. And considering that continues throughout the series, where she clearly shows that she has a crush on Amino, it's just freaking funny. I love it so much. And honestly, because later on in the show, it's only a 12-episode show, but not too many episodes in later, Amino ends up asking out Tendo, and they end up going on like one date, and I don't know, I think they went on a double date later on, but in general, the whole thing was just kind of funny to me. And yeah, there is one character I generally don't like, and I can't remember her name, but I think Amino nicknamed her Seaweed Hair, where they seem to get off good fine, like they were both, like Amino and this girl became friends, but then they end up becoming bitter rivals and hating each other, even though she's actually his favorite game developer and he doesn't know it. It's kind of a confusing process. Basically, she makes games, he likes playing them, and he's her top reviewer who likes every single game she produces. Neither of them know this, and the fact that they're actually already friends makes it even funnier, because then when she learns about him, she then starts falling in love with him even though she hated him before, all because he was actually the person who was always nice to her and her game developing. And Seaweed Hair, I guess I'm just gonna call her, was very weird. Like, for the start, for most of it, she was very dislikable, but the minute she started treating Amino like more of a person than just a jerk, I honestly had a lot more fun watching her character, but she still was kind of irritating, and I almost kind of wish she wasn't around. Because out of everyone, she was the one character I really did not care for at all. There was also this pink-haired one that I didn't care much for, but I was at least able to like sympathize with her because she thought her boyfriend, who was the cool guy, was cheating on her, and this whole crazy drama that happened. And I generally really don't think that it was as connectable. But I still had a lot of fun with these characters, and there were a lot of really funny moments. Like, if I try to think of another one off the top of my head, is actually when our main character just decides to go like, "Hey Tendo, will you go out with me?" Which was originally just to be, he was originally planning to just ask her, "Could you friend me on this game?" And when it came out as, "Will you please go out with me?" And she was just immediately like, "Yep, I would love to." And his only response was, "Oh, that came out different than I anticipated." And everyone's just like, "What?" I don't know why, but that moment always makes me laugh every time I watch. And the chemistry between Tendo and Amino is just so funny, and I love it. And while this anime, even though it's called Gamers and tries to give you a gaming aspect, it's not really that based on games, and I'm fine with that. It was still funny, and if there was a season 2, I would 100% watch it. I had a lot of fun with this anime, and honestly, I really wish that I could have seen more, because honestly, it ended on a really mediocre note. I would have loved to see more, though, and in general, the series is just funny enough that I actually really liked it, and I would love to go just rewatch some of the clips over and over again. It was just a lot of fun. So, I guess we've reached the conclusion now. Those of you who have skipped the spoiler section, aw. Well, that's your choice, because the spoiler section is just me rambling on about why I like the series or why I dislike the series. And basically, this series, in conclusion, I thought it was pretty good. There were awkward moments I didn't like, moments I liked, and it was all just kind of a goofy tone. It had mostly likable characters, okay storytelling from time to time, and I actually really had a lot of fun with some of the moments. And I guess I rate this anime a 7 out of 10. It was fun, but when it came to storytelling, it wasn't as interesting as other animes. While I had a lot of fun with it, it generally was just okay at best. But those are my thoughts. If you want to watch the series, go right ahead. I'm I'm recommending it. I'd say it's worth at least one watch. I'm sure some people might not like it as much, but I had a lot of fun watching it, and who knows, maybe if you give it a try, you might like it too. But that was my review on Gamers! Exclamation point. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and yeah, this was a lot of fun to talk about, because I don't know why, I love talking about different animes and storylines. They were a lot of fun for me. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all around. Peace.